Hello, everyone, and welcome to Trending, a show all about the diverse things that are happening right here in West Hollywood. I'm Tracy Savage, and today we're going to talk about ways to look good and feel good. And here in West Hollywood, there are just so many ways to stay healthy. We've got amazing gyms and fitness clubs. We've got incredibly healthy restaurants and lots of opportunities to get in shape without having to go indoors. And joining me today, three people who certainly know all about looking good and feeling good. We have PJ Stahl. PJ is a personal trainer and currently the co-owner of BRICK Crossfit Lab on Melrose. It's one of the largest CrossFit gyms in this area. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. We also have Keith Irace, and Keith is the regional director for group fitness at Equinox, which is a full-service fitness club with a full spa and all kinds of fitness classes. And Keith runs 18 Equinox clubs in California. That's a big job.
Yes, it is.
A lot of work. And finally, we have Griffin White, personal trainer and a kettlebell instructor at the Fitness Factory, which is on Lapeer Drive here in West Hollywood. And Griffin also provides all kinds of health and fitness advice on his website called westhollywoodbootcamp.com. Well, thank you all for joining me here today.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in. Well, Griffin, I want to start with you. So, as a personal trainer, you work with your clients, but you also provide them with all kinds of information and advice on how people can take care of themselves, what they need to do to get themselves in better shape. So, what are some of the main things that people really need to do to stay healthy?
Well, I think the first thing is you need to look at fitness and nutrition as kind of like one big thing. Because it can't just be about fitness, it needs to be about nutrition too. So my big thing on when you're starting a plan is really to be able to kind of look at where you're at and kind of start to set a goal, because that is one of the biggest things. If you just say, I want to lose weight or I want to do this, but you have no path, you're never going to get there. Because I was definitely one of those people. I struggled with my weight growing up. I was actually, especially as I got in college, I got to become a lot heavier. I started actually about 30 pounds heavier than I am now.
Wow.
And I was eating poorly.
Yeah.
I was exercising, but I think one of the biggest things, is to be able to, like I say, is to look at nutrition, look at fitness, and look at how you can combine the two to get where you need to.
It's really hard to get started. What do you do to encourage them just to begin?
First off, that has to come from the person themselves.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing the kettlebell bootcamp classes for about 6 years now. And I've been a personal trainer for about 10. And a lot of people know that they want to get in shape, but actually doing it is a whole nother thing. So one of the things I try to encourage people is like, hey, when you come into a first class, it's your first class. There's some people in my classes that have been there for 3, 4, 5 years.
So cut yourself some slack.
Yeah, try to, like I say, try to set realistic goals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And to set short little goals for yourself, because if you can do that, one little step at a time, you're going to get a lot farther.
Sure.
Versus trying to, because it happens a lot of times, people come to class, I can't do this, I can't do it. Like, yes, you can. And that's one of the biggest things I try to be like, hey, look, you actually did great tonight.
Yeah.
It was your first time. You're still learning. It's a learning process.
Right, very good. Well, PJ, you're a personal trainer and you've worked with some pretty big names, Britney Spears and David Beckham, to name a few. And so now you are also the co-owner of BRICK Crossfit Lab. So it's a large CrossFit gym right here in West Hollywood. Talk a little bit about the CrossFit workout. What are we talking about there?
So CrossFit the definition is constantly varied, high intensity, functional movement. So how can you have a workout that's different every single day? So every time you come in, people get stuck in a rut, they get stuck in routines, and CrossFit really offers variety. But how can we do it in a safe way? We want to offer functional movements, and we want to take people off of machines and use their bodies to do gymnastics type movements and Olympic lifting, powerlifting, plyometrics. It's really based on sports. So how can we start to get people to work out again like they did when they were a kid, playing on a playground? We have monkey bars in gyms, we have rings, a lot of things that really just make you get out and play.
If
you
I'm
have
playing
fun.
tennis 3 times a week, I don't even think that I'm working out.
Right, because it's a game.
Yeah.
And that's what CrossFit kind of has brought back into fitness. And it's something that people love, is coming to the gym, and when you do a workout, you actually compete against other people within the workout. So it is a game, and it's a little bit of a competition, but it's fun because everyone's doing it together.
So it kind of gets you off the treadmill 3 times a week for
Right.
30 minutes. That's just not going to do it.
Right. It offers variety and it challenges you every day in a new way.
And how does it help you physically by doing these kinds of different exercises combined?
So we have different things from strength lifting, and then you go into plyometrics, and then you go into endurance or cardiovascular exercises. So it teaches you not only how to build up strength of specific movement patterns, typically body weight movement patterns, but it also teaches you how to apply an endurance pattern with it. So when you're tired, you're exhausted, and you're fatigued, how can you use proper form and do a lift or a strength exercise? And the way that we like to describe it is like when you go home, you go to the grocery store, you come home from the grocery store, you're getting your kids in the stroller, out of the stroller, and now you have to carry groceries up the stairs to get home. Well, you're already exhausted, you're already fatigued, and now you have to carry something upstairs. So we do things that are like farmer's carries, where you have to hold kettlebells, and you have to walk up and down like the sidewalk with it, and then you come inside and you do lunge walks, or you do box jumps or box step-ups. Like, so it'll simulate things that you do in your life, so it can really get you prepared, so that when you face life, it seems easy.
Well, it also sounds like as soon as you start to get exhausted doing one thing, you move on to something else.
Right, you go to the next. Yeah.
All right. Well, Keith Irace, you are the regional director at Equinox for group fitness. You have clubs all across California, 18 different clubs that you're in charge of. And Equinox is a full-service health club with a spa as well. Why is it so important to take care of yourself emotionally as well as physically, to utilize spa services and that kind of thing? How does that benefit you as a whole and help you to stay healthy?
Well, I think obviously partially is just the overall reduction of stress in one's life. All of our clubs are in urban areas, so we're in other markets outside of LA and San Francisco,
Right.
but we are a lifestyle brand. So in addition to the hard metabolic workouts that these guys have spoken about, which is great, and that is definitely a trend in the industry. There is also a dedicated yoga studio. There is a Pilates studio. So we're trying to offer a little bit of everything and a really quality offer of all of those things. And then there is a spa, which is just a really nice place to visit, where you can go get a facial, you can get a massage, and it really is about that self-care that allows you to get a really full, well-rounded experience. A lifestyle experience in addition to your fitness experience.
Well, Keith, you and the other two gentlemen, you all provide workouts in sort of a group setting, a gym setting. Why is that motivational to go into an Equinox club and see all these people who are all working really hard and trying really hard to look good and feel good?
Well, I think there's a distinct group energy. I think that people feed off that camaraderie, whether it be people working out on the floor together, or in a group fitness class setting, or in a gym where they're doing a class setting, kind of a training. People work like a team. I think that is a really instinctive and intuitive thing in human behavior, that when you're working with somebody and you feel a little bit more accountable to them, that you're going to perform a little bit for them versus doing it on your own.
Sure, sure. Well, not everyone can afford personal trainers. They can't all afford to join lovely health clubs. So what can you do that's not going to cost you much money or any money in West Hollywood? What are some of the things that you suggest for folks who are trying to look good and feel good here in West Hollywood? I mean, we talk about the city being so walkable. It is a wonderful city for people just to get out and hit the streets and walk. So what advice do you have for people who just want to get in better shape? And we'll start with you, PJ.
For me, I would say the West Hollywood City Park is between San Vicente and Robertson, just south of Santa Monica. And that park is huge. They have basketball courts, they have huge grass fields, they have playgrounds for kids. So the options there for bodyweight exercises or just putting yourself out there and having fun, to me is ideal. We post workouts on our website every single day, and you can find bodyweight workouts. So for us to go outside and to do lunges, push-ups, sit-ups, and burpees, I mean, right there you have a whole workout, full body, and you could do it in the park. So for me, try to utilize the parks, be outside, and it's fun out there too. I mean, people are having fun. That's what I would recommend.
What do you suggest, Keith?
Well, I would agree with that, and I think even if I think of it in a simpler philosophy, really it's just keep moving. If people can just get outdoors and move, whether it's riding a bike, whether it is going to a park and doing a workout on your own with bodyweight training, which is awesome, whether it's hiking in one of the canyons. This is such a beautiful place to live, and has so much to offer in terms of places that we can enjoy the outdoors. There's almost no excuse for not getting outside and having some fun outside, and also getting some kind of activity in while you're doing it.
Right. And what about you, Griffin? Can you take your kettlebells outside?
Well, actually, yeah, that's one of the best things about kettlebells is the fact that they're portable.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a whole gym to go outside and do a workout. So, you know, if you obviously know about kettlebell training, yeah, you could take one to a park and do a complete workout in a very short amount of time. Yeah. One of the other things that I like to do is, and I've actually got some of my clients doing, is going out, especially to, you know, to like Runyon Canyon, getting up on a hike. Because it's not only active, but it has a very, you know, for a lot of people, just getting out in nature, getting that break from being at a desk all day is such a huge thing. And if you take a hike, it can just have a very nice kind of meditative quality for a lot of people. And for myself, it can be very like, you know, I need just that little escape, and at the same time, I'm getting some exercise too.
Absolutely. So let me ask you. I'm asking you for me personally. I do a lot of hikes. I do Runyon, Fryman. Am I really getting a good cardiovascular workout walking up Runyon Canyon or Fryman even? Do you really get a workout doing that?
Well, as far as it's depending on how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just going up and you're doing a slow walk, you're at least getting some exercise.
Right.
But you can do things, even as PJ was saying, in certain parts of the hike, you could stop and do a bunch of squats and lunges. Depending on the ground, you can do some push-ups or whatever. Or you can take little, like, kind of sprints. All of a sudden, you're just walking. You're like, okay, for the next 20 seconds, I'm going to go as hard as I can up this hill, and then just stop, and then just keep walking and do that. So it's all in how you approach it. It's all in how you approach it.
I love it. Well, you know, we hear about the health benefits that if you're feeling good and you take good care of yourself, you're going to feel good all over. I mean, emotionally, you're going to feel good. So what are some of the benefits to spending a lot of time sweating out there? It pays off in more ways than just having a healthy heart. How about you, PJ? What do you think?
The biggest thing, and we've been all talking about groups and working together and having like that camaraderie. And for us, it's trying to build a sense of community and build a sense of purpose outside of work. And I feel like sometimes we lose that in life because we focus on work, we go home, you take care of what you need to at home, you eat, you go to bed. Yeah. And for us, it's trying to create a sense of friendships and community outside of it. So who can you rely on or count on outside of work, and build a relationship and start building friendships. Every Saturday we do a partner or team WOD, the workout of the day. Yeah. And with that workout, you have to work out with people that you might never work out with. And sometimes you work out with people that are better than you, and sometimes you work out with people that are worse than you. Sure. And it's about creating the idea that you're there for each other and that you can do it. And at the end of the day, the feeling that you get from it and the success and the ability to interact with other people in that fun environment is really what brings, I think, like the ultimate, like that happiness or joy back into people's lives.
So Keith, at Equinox, you must see a lot of happy, smiling people, right? They must
Sure
feel
you do.
good.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say to build on that, I think it's such great stuff. Better sleep, better energy.
Yes.
Better partners, better moods. Like I just feel like people who exercise on a regular basis do see those differences in their lives, and all of that contributes to what a great time that you're having when you're in the club, and then what a great time you're having when you're out of the club. Right. Just being in a better place and feeling good about yourself, feeling good about even the aesthetic part of it, of like how you feel in your clothes. I mean, who doesn't want to feel good about how they feel in their clothes?
Sure.
And to walk around in the world and feel pretty good about how you feel is great.
And so, Griffin, when your clients come to you, they're in the beginning stages and they're nervous and scared and don't know if they can do it. Do you see that emotional transformation as they're slowly building and growing and are able to handle these exercises? And
yeah, I mean, it's a huge thing, because I actually, one of my clients I worked with today, I've been working with for about the last 7 or 8 months, and she was one of those people, when she first came in, she could barely do a squat. Yeah. Or she could barely even, she had no idea. It's like getting in touch with your body. A lot of people, I mean, I grew up playing sports, so it was very easy for me to transition into working out, and especially learning kettlebells, because I from a very young age, I played soccer, tennis, baseball, basketball, so I knew how to use my body. A lot of people, they have no idea how to do a proper squat, how to do a proper lunge, push up. So once, in the beginning, you're once again taking through those baby steps, and then as you start to see, and they start to see, oh wow, I can do this. And then it's the little changes, and she's lost over about 25 pounds. And now she's, even today, she's still doing things. She's like flexing her guns at me, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's
good self-esteem.
Exactly, and I've seen this huge shift in her.
Yeah.
But yet sometimes they still, at the same time, need us to be like, okay, I know you can go farther.
I love it. Well, let's wrap up here with talking about trends, because it always seems like there's something new. I got great at Zumba for a while. So what are the new I won't call them fads, but what are we finding out are the effective ways to work out? And Griffin, you use kettlebells. Is that something that you absolutely believe in?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing kettlebell training itself for about 6 years.
Wow.
The funny thing is they've really become popular the last couple years, but they've been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at pictures of old school gyms, like way back in the day, you'll see pictures of kettlebells on the floor. Yeah. One of the things I like about them, and you mentioned earlier about can you go outside and do a workout, is you can do this workout pretty much anywhere. You can get a great, effective, high intensity but low impact workout in a short amount of time with one item. Yeah. And that's one of the things I love about it. But it's about integration training.
Sure.
And as far as the way we use our bodies, daily, we're not doing things in an isolated matter. So, we're using our bodies to pick up our groceries, to pulling our dog, whatever it is. So as far as the great thing about kettlebell training is, you're working strength, you're working cardio, you're working flexibility, mobility. So you're getting a lot of the things that you really need out of workout.
I feel great because sometimes my purse is as heavy as a kettlebell. So I feel like I'm getting great exercise. Well, what's new at Equinox? What are some of the things that you are finding that your members are loving?
Well, I think there's just a trend toward people finding great balance in their workouts. So knowing if you're going to do a hard metabolic training where you're going to treat your body a little softer. So for example, we have some hard metabolic metabolic classes called Metcon 3, which is a metabolic conditioning class.
That sounds scary.
It sounds scary, but it's not as scary as it sounds. However, it will surprise you a little bit. It's one of those classes that, like, through the second round of exercises, you really realize how profoundly hard it is. But but you can do it. Everybody can do it. But on the flip side of that, we are working in it with a yoga program called Flow Play, which is a marriage of movement, yoga, and music, and the way that music impacts your brain. So it's music and neuroscience, and we have specific soundtracks that we use with classes to get people to, that will evoke certain emotions throughout the class. Not specific emotions, but energies, let's say.
Love it.
And we have people do sort of at the end of it, they do a musical meditation where the instructor just sort of gets out of the way completely and lets you just listen to a particular kind of music during Shavasana, which is the final resting pose of the yoga class.
I love it.
And that just people appreciating that level of connection to everything around them.
Sure. And how about you, PJ? CrossFit. So what's new, or what seems to be the trend in CrossFit training?
Within it, the biggest thing that's kind of come back in the light is Olympic lifting and gymnastics. So those two sports were kind of dying sports. There weren't many Olympic lifters, and in gymnastics, it seems like it was only left for the elite gymnast. You watch it on the Olympics and that's about it. But now we've put those events back into a gym setting. And how can you teach it in a safe way and get, like I was saying before, like get adults to do gymnastics moves, get adults to do handstands and forward rolls and get on the rings again. You look at a gymnast body, and the reason that they're so strong and they're so agile in what they do is because of the way they train. So we want to introduce some of those exercises back into it. And the same thing with Olympic lifting. It's trying to move heavy loads in a fast, efficient way. So how can you do that safely? And it's to teach proper movement patterns. And we start with just a dowel, like a single leg stick.
Right.
And then we progress into like a 15-pound bar. Then you progress to a 35-pound bar. So it's slow progressions, but getting people to actually do Olympic lifting and gymnastics again has been amazing.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank you all for being here today and for offering us wonderful advice on how to look good and feel good.
Well, thank you.
My pleasure. And while we've been here in the studio, Sommer Williams has been getting pampered at one of the local spas. She's going to tell us all about that in a minute. But first, Eddie Robinson has been working out at BRICK Training Center. Let's see how he's doing. Eddie?
West Hollywood is definitely the city to look good and feel great in, and there are plenty of fitness options to help you reach your personal best. We're here at BRICK CrossFit at 7811 Santa Monica Boulevard to learn more. I'm joined by General Manager and Head Coach Maddie Mosier from BRICK Crossfit. Maddie, what is BRICK's unique approach to fitness?
It's all about the atmosphere. Coming in, you're experiencing group-style classes. It's so much fun, it's so energetic, and it's so motivating. Our curriculum includes functional fitness, which means movements that you do every single day, but we add a clock, so we vary it over time domains, and we utilize different weight capacities. Besides CrossFit, you'll find a variety of classes. We have our kickboxing, which is very intense and really popular. In fact, our owner was a world champion kickboxer, so of course we have to have that here at BRICK. We want to make CrossFit and BRICK as approachable as possible. We understand that coming in here for the first time, you see people doing all these movements that perhaps you've never done before. So we want to make our process very approachable to everyone. Also, in what we do every single day, the workout changes. You don't know what you're about to walk into. So just like life itself, we're preparing you for that. So coming in, not knowing what to expect, and shocking your body, shocking your system. That's what CrossFit and BRICK is all about.
Now we don't necessarily have to hit the target, but what we really want to do is get a full depth on our squat. All right, so we want to send that butt back, those knees track out, and our hips get all the way down below our knees. Now as we come out of that squat, we'll toss the ball up, hit the target, catch it, and right back down to the next squat. Yeah, there you go. This movement is designed to work the squat, all right? So you're working the core, you're working the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, you're getting that shoulder drive in there as well as you toss that ball. There is a workout called Karen. It's 150 wall balls. That's the workout. And then as I jump up, throw my hands forward. I want to land as softly in the box as we can, come to a full standing position, and then I can either step down or jump down. That was the box jump. So that's an explosive dynamic movement, and that's working the core, that's working the posterior chain. It's also going to develop your fast twitch muscle fibers. We're more focused on that big explosive jump upward. That's where you're going to see the most results. And so then we can change the height of those boxes and then still work that step down. So we're not worried so much about that jump down, but it's more about that jump up. We have a Russian style kettlebell swing and an American style kettlebell swing. I'll take you through the Russian style kettlebell swing. It's a little bit shorter, it's just the positioning on where we end that swing. Here we kind of mix it up between Russian and American just depending on what the workout is. It's basically the same movement, it just stops a little bit shorter for that American style, but it's basically a very hip dominated movement. You're using your hips, your glutes, your hamstrings, your core to really pop that bell upward, and that's where you're going to get your results. It's not so much of a shoulder raise. If your shoulders are kind of blowing out on it, you're not using your hips enough.
And Caleb, what about the BRICK CrossFit experience can a person take from the experience here into their everyday lives?
There's been classes where guys have had one rep left and the whole class is surrounding them, cheering them on, getting them to go. And so that person is pushing beyond what they thought they could do. And so then they can take that out in the real world and use that the only thing that's stopping them is themselves, basically. And so we're just strengthening them mentally.
After burning all these calories, you're definitely going to want something great to eat. But don't cheat yourself out of the good work that you've already done. BRICK CrossFit, as a part of its program, offers you great consultations for nutrition. Let's talk about food.
Nutrition is a huge part of CrossFit. It's kind of the total package. We don't prescribe to a paleo diet or a zone diet or anything like that. We definitely have recommendations, but our go-to sort of recommendation for each of our members is whatever works for them best.
What's the absolute worst thing you can eat after you've worked out?
The worst thing that you can do consumption-wise after a workout is to not eat anything at all.
Chelsea, many people are talking about the amount of meals you should eat per day, whether it's 3 to 5. As a CrossFit coach, what do you suggest?
If you're constantly feeding your body good, clean food, you're burning clean fuel throughout the day, and you're just going to run better. You're going to operate better. You're never going to have those insulin. You're rarely going to have insulin spikes or drops. So more frequent meals is definitely the way to go, and something that I always recommend.
Whew, with all that workout, I almost don't want to go home. Thanks so much to the entire BRICK CrossFit staff for their expertise. BRICK is located at 7811 Santa Monica Boulevard here in West Hollywood.
A trip to the spa is one of the most relaxing ways to look good and feel good. We're here at Gendarmerie Spa to learn the best ways to keep our skin glowing like it's still summer. I'm here with Everardo, one of the top skincare specialists, and he's going to walk us through his favorite facial techniques and things you can do at home. Everardo, what do we need to know?
Well, today what I'm going to show you is how to clean your skin and how to remove properly your makeup. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to exfoliate your skin, how important it is, and also how to moisturize your skin. I'm gonna start removing your makeup, and I'm gonna clean your skin twice, which is very important. To clean your skin, I'm gonna use a creamy cleanser, which is very appropriate for your skin. And I'm gonna remove your eyeshadow with a special soothing eye makeup remover. It is very important to remove your makeup night, so your skin can breathe.
Is it better to use pads like this to remove the cleanser?
It is more appropriate to do it, yes, because that way you can remove the makeup better from your skin.
What are the most common mistakes people make when they're cleaning their skin?
The biggest mistake they do is just they use the wrong cleanser. If your skin is dry or normal, you use something creamy. If your skin is oily, and then use a little bit more foamy, more gel. Number two, they don't clean their skin twice, which is very important.
Once to remove the makeup and once to clean it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna analyze your skin to see what products I'm gonna use and to make a plan, what am I gonna do and working on. And you have a good skin also.
Thank you.
But we always have to, there's always room for improvement. We always have to take care of our skin somehow, either at home or seeing a professional skincare specialist. So I'm gonna exfoliate your skin, I'm gonna use scrub. Not necessarily have to use scrubs all the time, but scrub is a good way to exfoliate it. You can make your own scrub at home. You use a very fine sugar and then you put a honey on it, and that will be enough to do it. And then what you do with 2 fingers, go around your face in a circle motions. How does it feel?
Great.
And then after the extractions, we do a massage your skin. And then after that, we put a mask. My favorite masks will be something with collagen, elastin, or something with vitamins.
What's the best way to really get that glow back and get that summer healthy, happy look?
Well, the best one, it goes by individual, but usually use in summertime, in wintertime, you use a little bit more heavier moisturizer. Use like a commercial moisturizers, because when you do your own, you're gonna use raw products, and if you use it like in 2-3 days, fungus are gonna start growing. When you buy a moisturizer on your store, you're looking for something with hyaluronic acid, which is something that holds the moisture in your skin. Usually night moisturizers are a little bit more heavier, and they have more nourishing ingredients. And for the day, it's important to use something with sunblock. That should be your priority in your regimen. After a facial, it's really good to drink water, just because you need to keep your skin hydrated.
Gendarmerie Boutique Spa is located at 9069 Nemo Street, here in West Hollywood.
And welcome back to the studio. There are so many ways to get fit and healthy here in West Hollywood, even if it's just getting outside and going for a walk. We have some beautiful historic neighborhoods, and there are great walking paths and even some of the best healthy restaurants around. We've got farmers markets in the area. Well, there's just seen a very small sampling of the many gyms and spas that are available. And remember, if you'd like more information about any of the places you just saw, drop us an email or leave us a message on Facebook or Twitter. And for more information about healthy alternatives in West Hollywood, contact our social services department at 323-848-6410. I'm Tracy Savage. Thanks for watching, and stay healthy.